I'm going to get started with a big swing and a team that their fan base does not particularly like us this year, but I don't care. Going to take Rice plus 400 on the money line over
Oh,
Western Kentucky.
jeez.
Here we go. Here we go. This happens a lot more during March Madness and Selection Sunday where they put up the two resumes where it's like, what are your best wins? The Owls have beat UTEP, UAB, and Louisiana this year. Those are three real nice wins. Western Kentucky has beaten Austin Peay, Hawaii, FIU, Middle Tennessee, and Charlotte. So are we so sure that the Hilltoppers are all that great? I know that they have the fourth ranked passing attack in the whole country, low interception rate, low sack rate. All comes down to Austin Reed, who's been Zappy Light, which I think should be, an
Oh,
off-brand beer that we should be selling. And listen, Rice statistically does give up a lot of yardage, but they're 56 in Havoc. So maybe if they can put a little pressure on him and get lucky with a turnover or two, because other than that, their in conference play numbers are pretty strong. Rice is fifth in scoring in Conference USA play, third in total defense, and third in sacks. And they're also a team that needs one more win to get to bowl eligibility. They're playing kind of a murderer's row by Conference USA standards in their last three. But I think they have the juice. I mean, they got Luke McCaffrey. I know it's somebody that you've talked up on this pod before. Just in his last three games, 18 receptions, four total touchdowns to get him involved in the running game as well. I think Rice has every opportunity to stay in this game. And if they're able to do it, I think they have the offense to get over the hump. It's just a matter of can they force Reed into some bad decisions and be on the plus side of the turnover margin. Because if they are, I think this is overinflated. Like if it was Rice like plus 250, it's probably a pass for me. But 4-1 essentially is saying Western Kentucky's unbeatable in this game, and they are not. And given the fact that they've beaten so many tin cans this year, I'm just not sure that they're the world beaters they're being made out to be. So, what are your thoughts on the Owls? And then we can get into your AAC conflict with one of my G555 plays.
I mean, that's certainly swinging for the fences. I don't hate it. I agree with you. Western Kentucky hasn't played anybody. And by the way, quick update for everyone who listened to our off-season previews. If you remember, my best bet for Conference USA, Western Kentucky, team total under. And our boy David Davis, Western Kentucky's best receiver, quote tweeted the clip of me just ripping them to shreds. I love the slander. It makes the outcome so much better. Well, Daywood, the outcome was you cashing your win total under before Halloween. So under 8.5, absolutely never a doubt. This team was never going to do what they did last year. So I'm glad the bulletin board material helped.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, they were still. I still think they're being priced as though Bailey Zappi and Kitley and all their toys on the perimeter are still there, but they're not. I mean, they clearly have still been able to shred opposing defenses, but they haven't played anybody. I don't want to go full Paul Feinbaum on this situation, but Paul, hey, play nobody. Like this is the situation I think to take a big swing because Rice is a borderline bowl team right now. And I think if they get in, they're going to be a feisty bowl team. So I'm going to go ahead and take a quality team that's ascending. That is the opposite of a public team. I think that's the reason why it's 4-1 here. Rice hasn't been a team anyone's been excited to bet since the Jared Dillard days.
Oh,
So
I've been betting them all year.
I mean, I'm talking about, John Q. Public is not racing up to the betting window to throw down some money on the Owls. All right, what is your underdog play here?
I'm taking UCF plus 115. I've said all year the best team in the conference. I'm sticking to it. By the way, you don't want to get into the thing. I will. ESPN not going to New Orleans is an absolute joke. It's not like we're asking you to go to like Muncie, Indiana. It's like you're going to New Orleans. Unless they were nervous about like God knows what kind of trouble Pat McAfee would have gotten down on Bourbon Street, they're going to go to Austin, Texas for the second time this year for a 3-loss team instead of going to New Orleans for the first time. An awesome matchup between two top 25 teams. They've never been to Tulane. That was a joke. Now, I love Tulane. We know this. I don't necessarily want to say anything bad about them. These teams are first and second in the conference in scoring. I love Michael Pratt, love Tajay Spears, love this defense. I think both defenses are pretty even, to be honest. Both are much better against the run. Both offenses run the ball first. So I honestly think the defenses are pretty comparable. But when you go to the offensive side of the ball, like I said, they both want to establish the run first. UCF is just better at it. They're 13th in the country in success rate on offense, 16th in passing, 15th in rushing success. You mentioned that John Reese Plumlee. Is it, by the way, is it Reese Plumlee or Rice Plumlee? Because everyone says
Rice. It's Rice Plumley, which doesn't make any sense, but yeah, it's
all right,
Rice.
well,
I
sticking
mean,
with
it's Rice all
I'll
week.
say we're pairing the money line dog parlay with Rice. So I actually kind of like that symmetry we have going on here. John Rice Plumlee is awesome. I think he's awesome. He's very boom or bust. Guess what? Underdog, we need the boom. He's averaging 235 passing yards, 67 rushing yards. And Tulane has a good rush defense, but Plumlee, Isaiah Bowser, RJ Harvey, Johnny Richardson, there's so many weapons here. Harvey's averaging 7.4 yards per carry. We have seen Russian quarterbacks have success against Tulane. You know, Clayton Tune had over 50 yards. Jerry Bohannon had over 50 yards. UMass's quarterback had over 50 yards. So, they have allowed that kind of scramble first downs with running quarterbacks. I just don't think anybody can really stop this rushing attack. And then when they do throw the ball, Ryan O'Keefe's having another great year. They brought in Javon Baker and Kobe Hudson from Alabama and Auburn. All three of them are averaging over 50 yards. I think there's just so much weapons on this UCF team that Tulane doesn't really have. And if Plumlee is fully healthy, which he should be, because Malzahn said he cleared concussion protocol before Saturday's game. He was available and could play.
And he warmed up. He warmed up
but,
as well.
So but he hadn't practiced all week. So that's why they went with Keene. So I actually like the fact that Plumlee had an extra week's rest. He should be good to go. I think UCF's the best team in this conference. I have all year. I'll be honest, if Tulane was plus 115, plus 20, they'd probably be my underdog pick. I'll be honest with you. I think this is a toss-up game. Like I said, their defenses are even. I think UCF's offense is better, but Tulane's obviously at home. I was probably going to take the dog in either game if it was up to this high. I think the spread's 2.5. To me, this should be a pick 'em. So I'm going to take the plus money with the Knights here, who I still think is the best team in the American.